Welcome back to Switched to Linux. Well, it is Monday and it's time for another Top 5. And if you're privy to understand what I'm talking about, and a lot of my audience is, I was in a discussion with a group of folks the other night, and I brought up the issue of GIMP. And I said, GIMP is every bit as good as Photoshop. And there was a person on there who likes to always be right and always have his word. And I wasn't going to wrestle with him. You in the know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to wrestle with him because Pig likes to wrestle and you both get dirty. I'm not going to battle with it. But I did want to do my top 5 as the top 5 reasons why GIMP is better than Photoshop. And that's what I'm going to do today. And this is my word, my last word, but you can feel free to leave some things in the comments. But to be honest with you, this is a general. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is mostly blow steam off of me. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is still a great video. Why are 5 reasons GIMP is better than Photoshop? Number 1, it is FOSS. FOSS stands for free and open source. So free and open source basically means that the source code is available for those people that want to edit it. You can actually grab that source code and edit it. And you can compile it yourself. You can audit the code. You can inspect everything. Now, most people don't do that degree. Most people will expect that it's what it says it is. And frankly, if it wasn't what it says it is, then the community would actually let you know. And so I did want to spend some time just talking about the fact that it's free and open source. This means that I know what the program is doing. That is definitely unlike Photoshop. You want image editor, you think Photoshop. I think GIMP anymore because I am a professional that uses Photoshop in my regular day-to-day work. And because of that, and moving over to Linux, I've been using GIMP on my regular day-to-day work. And everything that I could do in Photoshop, I can do in GIMP. And so the fact it's free and open source is an extra bonus for me, and that I know what's going on. I have the control. I can compile it if I need to, and that is why I like GIMP. Number 2 is no tucks, no bucks. This has been a phrase going around mostly in the gaming world as of late. And basically what no tucks, no bucks means is that in the gaming industry, mostly you'll find forums about this on Steam and some other areas, that if a game is not supported in the Linux community, the Linux computer community has been standing up and saying, I'm not going to go there. Well, Photoshop and the Adobe suite of products themselves have that same challenge. They, as much as they're very widely used, they're not a software package that they're making available on Linux for whatever reason, which is kind of funny because, there's a lot of people, and progressively more people moving over to Linux. And the thing is that the fact they don't move to Linux is one of the very reasons a whole lot of people are staying with Windows, use that particular software package. But if you can understand GIMP is available on Linux, and it can do everything that Photoshop can do. And we're going to address that a little bit more later. But as far as what we're talking about here today, there is not available a copy of Photoshop that's available. Now, you can do some wine tricks and some other things and get it working under Linux, but why bother? We have GIMP. It works. And as a professional, I find I can do everything that I need to do in GIMP without having to turn to Photoshop. In fact, more often than not, sometimes I find myself turning to GIMP more often than I'm turning to Photoshop, depending on which computer I'm on, of course. Number 3, we do not have a subscription package, an annual fee, an amount that you have to keep paying for over and over and over again for all eternity. So, of course, this is what Adobe has rolled out. You can no longer buy an Adobe package from them, at least. I don't know. You might be able to find one in a software store somewhere. I don't know. But you can't buy Adobe as a standalone package. And this is significant, and let me tell you why. First and foremost, you can see here from this page that if you want to buy a single app of Photoshop, you're paying $20 a month. That's, of course, if you pay in a month, you pay that monthly as an annual plan. If you just want to do a monthly fee, you're looking at $30 If you do an annual plan prepaid, you're shelling out $239. Now, is that a good deal or a bad deal? Well, one of the things that happened is it used to be a new version of software would come out and a lot of people would upgrade to it because, that software, it had a lot of new cool features, a lot of functionality. We're seeing a lot less new features and new functionality. And so I'm still running, as far as on my Windows computer, I still have Office 2007 installed. I don't have a reason to get any higher than that. I actually don't like any of the Office programs above 2007. They've gotten big, they've gotten annoying, they've gotten clunky. And I'm just going to stick with what I have. But I'm using LibreOffice more often than that. As far as Photoshop is concerned, I bought my CS4 2010 right when CS5 came out. In fact, it was that day I saw that CS5 came out. I ran right onto Amazon. I bought one of the last copies they had of a professional license of CS4. I paid $1,000 for it, 60% off discount, because I'm a bargain hunter, A, but B, I was starting my web design company. Okay, this is where this makes the difference. If you are dedicating yourself to paying a monthly fee or an annual fee and you're a small business, you may not have the budget to do that. You say, oh, it's only $30 a month. Oh, only $40 a month. Well, that $30 or $40 a month adds up a lot year in and year out when you're on a shoestring budget building a business without debt. But if you're a person that just throws, credit card, it may not mean a whole lot to you. But the fact that I can get GIMP without paying a monthly or an annual subscription fee is a huge bonus. This is beneficial for small businesses starting up, and frankly, I would recommend you learn GIMP instead of Photoshop. I mean, that's my thought. Maybe learn both, actually. If you're in graphics, you want to learn, if you're in graphic design, you want to learn Photoshop, you want to learn GIMP, you want to learn Krita, you want to learn raw therapy, you want to learn them all. But as far as if you just need to know you want to know just an image editor that you can use, I would stick with GIMP. And there's the next two reasons are going to tell us why. Number 4, equal functionality. Photoshop really doesn't have any functionality that I can't get in GIMP or another related program. I mean, I think Photoshop can probably do some 3D stuff a little bit better. There's some 3D plugins. There might even be some 3D plugins for GIMP. I don't know. If I need 3D, I'll go to Blender. But regardless, GIMP has, if you're talking about image editing, you're talking about layering images, you're talking about doing alpha manipulations, colors, hues, saturations, things like that, GIMP is very good at that. In fact, I like a lot of the functionalities and the features that GIMP has over Photoshop. And yeah, I know, my Photoshop is several years old. Ooh, I don't care. Because I'm not shelling out $1,500 every, and actually that wasn't too much of an exaggeration to buy the real package. It was $5,000 for the full package I have. I got a good deal on it. I think it was $25 for the version I got. You could pay up to $5,000 for a package, and then of course every year it'd come out. Now you're not paying $5,000. Right now, if you want the all apps and everything, the full thing, you're paying $70 per month. That's over $700 per year for the rest of your business's life. That is called bad business investing. You want to look for a deal. You want to keep your costs low because keeping your costs low keeps your profits high. Okay, and as far as that's concerned, GIMP has an equal functionality as Photoshop. The workflow is different, okay, and that's why it's important to learn some of the other functionality. Learn how the other applications work. But here's where a lot of people say, oh, GIMP sucks. Well, if you've spent your entire professional career on Photoshop and you jump over to GIMP, which is an equally complicated thing, and you say it just sucks, I want you to think back to the very first day you picked up Photoshop and you opened it up. You were just learning, you just got Photoshop, you open it up, you look at it and you go, this thing's hard. Well, GIMP's hard because it's a very advanced program that has equal functionality to Photoshop. So before you want to knock it, become a professional in both. Because I did take the time to become professional in both. That's why I did a series of GIMP tutorials. I haven't done a whole lot more GIMP tutorials because I've mastered all of the things I need the functional tools to do. Give me more ideas though, and I'll keep doing more. But it has an equal functionality to Photoshop. That leads us to our number 5, is that it is cross-platform. This is very significant because when you finally wake up to the fact that Windows and Apple are collecting all sorts of data and you're like, I don't want to do that anymore, or you're tied into all of these subscription services and whatever else, and you're like, I can't afford this anymore and I still need the functionality. The cool thing about GIMP is you can use GIMP on any different operating system. So going over to their downloads page, you can come over here, and here it is for GNU Linux, here it is for OS X, here it is for Windows. And there might even be BSD. I don't know. You can probably grab the source code and compile from that. Okay, let's see. But regardless, you can grab GIMP for any of your operating systems, and so it has the full cross-platform functionality. That's very significant because right now, if I need to move whatever different computer I have to be working on for development, tests, and whatever else, if I need to make a tweak to something, I just pull up GIMP in that particular computer, and I got it going. So GIMP provides every bit of functionality. It is cross-platform. There are no annual subscriptions. It is not available on Linux, and it is free and open source software. That is why Photoshop is better than GIMP. So, thank you for watching this Linux Top 5. If you'd like to help support what we're doing, check out switchlinux.com/support. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.